What if I told you Chelsea don't make Champions League? All right, Chelsea fans, I'm back. Having a little fun with that one, but here's the deal. While I completely think that Chelsea are going to get into the Champions League next season by beating Nottingham Forest on the last match of the season, known as Super Sunday, there is a part of me that just wanted to think for a second, what would it look like if Chelsea didn't? And it's kind of crazy. So let's have some fun with this before the end of the season. Could care less about the Conference League final because it does not matter one bit. Champions League or bust, mess it up, Enzo, and we're going to have bigger issues. So as it stands in the table, everyone knows Liverpool on first, Arsenal clinching second, well, essentially clinching a Champions League spot with their win most recently. Then you've got what we're going to assume is Manchester City in third because they're going to beat
Bournemouth.
And I'm recording this before that match. Let's just assume they even win 3-0. Newcastle will be in fourth on 66 points, Chelsea fifth on 66 points, and Villa sixth on 66 points with Nottingham Forest and seventh on 65 points. Now, goal difference is going to be key. Let's assume City again go +3 over
Bournemouth.
Takes them to 27, pretty much free and clear for them. Newcastle now are +22 with us at +20. Villa +9. Big tiebreaker right there. And then Nottingham Forest at +13. A little bit of an interesting swing might happen there. So you'd imagine Chelsea, if anything, are looking up at Newcastle as a tiebreaker, not down to Nottingham Forest. But the top five this season qualifying for the Champions League should be more of a buffer for Chelsea with this situation at the end of the season, this car jam, this absolute crazy train here, right? Punching above, kind of that third through seventh as it stands. So obviously the final match away at Nottingham Forest is going to be massive. No Nico Jackson, serving his second of 3-match suspension, which I think some fans would argue is a loss. Others will not. Debate will not be happening right here, right now. So if we were to kind of tee this up, what could happen in a world where Chelsea don't make Champions League? It's as simple as you win and you're in. Good old American sports phrase right there. But if you don't win, are you still in? Well, this is where all the different situations and variables and changes to how we have to look at this happen and come into play. But let's just play this out real quick. So let's say Chelsea suffer a shock defeat to Nottingham Forest. Chelsea, without Nico Jackson, who's suspended, we struggle offensively. Nothing of a surprise there. Nottingham Forest, on the other hand, who are desperate for a top 5 spot, they know they have to win to even give themselves a chance because they're currently in 7th on the very much outside looking in. They play out of their skin at home. Forest key players like Chris Wood and Morgan Gibbs-White exploit Chelsea's defensive frailties. Chelsea have conceded 40 goals this season, dropped 13 points from winning position since Boxing Day. A late goal in the 90th +5 from a set piece, which is Forest strength, could see them win 1-0. The most devastating of timelines, Chelsea fans. I apologize. Look, Forest have a strong home record. They smashed Brighton 7-0 earlier this season. Our away form is abysmal. No league wins on the road in 2025. Until recently. All right, it's not as bad as it was, but come on. Nico Jackson is our second top scorer. You've potentially got some fatigue or probably a distraction from the Conference League. The final's just days after this. Again, don't care, but it's something that I'm sure the club are taking and players are taking into consideration. So because of all those things, that 1-0 defeat is very plausible, especially at 90th plus minute header from Chris Wood at the death of the match, which again would be horrific. So with this situation, Chelsea stay on 66 points and Forest would jump to 68. You have to talk about it because it's not that unrealistic. There is a chance Chelsea lose the last match of the season. We'll have to go see what Matt Law predicted because the dude's on a heater, right? Take him to Vegas. Oh, wait, we did. Anyways, so Nottingham Forest goal difference swings in their favor. So let's say Forest win 4-0 instead of 1-0. Crazy. I know, but just hear me out here. Chelsea's defense collapses. What if you get an early red card to a key defender like Levi Colwill, who gets caught in no man's land, last man foul in the 20th minute? Forest capitalized with a rampant performance, scoring 3 or some goals in the second half. All of a sudden, our goal difference drops from plus 20 to plus 16. More importantly, Nottingham Forest jumps from plus 13 to plus 17. Trouble ensues now. Now, look, have we had defensive lapses this season? Yeah, lost 4-1 to Liverpool earlier in the season. A red card isn't unthinkable. We've had disciplinary issues. All right, Nico Jackson recently, I'd say that's more of a decision-making issue. Forest have won again 7-0, so they can rack up goals at home, especially if we're down a man. It just, again, I'm painting the scenario here. So then if you look around at the other results as well, so what if Newcastle, they're probably going to win comfortably against Everton. Everton had their swan song with Goodison saying goodbye. They're done. They don't care, right? So they're going to beat Everton at home 3-0. Everton, again, nothing to play for, safe from relegation, no European hopes, just don't want to get injured, right? And Newcastle, they want to go out on top. They have a strong home form. They have attacking output of 65 goals scored this season. This is very feasible. And you know how much I don't rate Pickford, so top bins, Isak. So the result would be Newcastle up to 69 points and a goal difference of plus 25. Completely out of reach of Chelsea at that point. This is very realistic, as Newcastle are favored to win the match. So then the next one would be Villa winning big against Man United. So hear me out. Aston Villa motivated to obviously secure that top 5 spot, stay in Europe. They thrashed Manchester United 5-1 at Old Trafford. United have been inconsistent with 15 losses and a negative 8 goal difference, while Villa's attacking form with recent wins at Brighton and Palace is going to shine through in this one. Ollie Watkins, give him a hat trick. I'm good with that. United's defense collapses and throw in a red card for Lisandro Martinez, which is obviously going to be a second yellow card. This would put Villa at 69 points, and their goal difference would jump from plus 9 to plus 13. Again, in my scenario, not a big deal because we're still plus 16, but relevant to the tiebreaker clause. Reality-wise, like Villa already beat United 3-0 this season, and United's loss against Brentford, they just don't care. They are focused on the Europa League final, and understandably so. Their season has been horrific, yet they somehow have a chance to qualify for the Champions League. Like, I think there needs to be a clause that if you are one spot outside the relegation zone or even 2, you shouldn't get automatic qualification to the Champions League. Just saying, right? So with that being said, again, this puts Chelsea in a very tough position. If we do not win, Newcastle expect them to win. Villa definitely expect them to win, which then brings it down to Manchester City. They're going to win against Fulham. I don't know, right? I guess probably who cares? Already at 68 points. This would put them on 71. I think they're going to get done. They're good enough. Again, Fulham have nothing to play for. There's enough squad depth at City. They're going to get the victory, but it's not going to be a blowout, right? So let's assume that City finished with 71 points and goal difference of plus 28. They're favored to win, and the 2-1 scoreline really fits the form. I don't think they're going to get a clean sheet. And again, they're going to be ready for this season to be over. Let's be brutally honest. So what would that mean? That would mean the final standings after Super Sunday is Liverpool obviously first, Arsenal second, Man City third, Newcastle fourth on 69 points, Villa on fifth on 69 points with a lower goal difference, Forest sixth, and Chelsea seventh. Could you imagine? Not only would Forest beat us, they still wouldn't even reach the Champions League. That is a very plausible situation. So at this point, anyone knows what's going to go on. And Newcastle finishing above Villa with a better goal difference, like I said, it just would be the worst. losing 4-0 to Nottingham Forest, staying on 66 points, seeing their goal difference drop to plus 16, Forest 4-0 win, pushed them to 68 points and a plus 17 goal difference, overtaking Chelsea for 5th. What in the world would happen? But look, half of you are out there saying, yeah, you know what? I could see it. This Chelsea team has been anything short of convincing. This Chelsea team has been anything but, I don't know, giving you confidence on the road. The away form has been so fragile, so frustrating. And all we're asking for is 90 minutes plus probably a crazy amount of stoppage time to get it done. If Chelsea don't score first, I'm not sure how this match is going to end in our favor. But hey, that's why you play the match. That's why you play the game. You find out what's going to happen. Look, I'm having a little bit of fun with Super Sunday. I completely believe Chelsea are going to win. I'm just a little bit nervous, and I bet you are too. So let me know in the comments, where do you think Chelsea are going to end the season? 4th place, 5th place, or worse? I could understand some of you not think we make Champions League, but to be quite honest, I could care less about the Conference League trophy. It's top 4 bust for me. So anyways, let me know what you think, Chelsea fans. Until next time, you know what to do. Keep the blue flag flying high.